The title of my film is What We Lost, which I believe is ideal at creating enigma codes by using a vague and undisclosed statement as a way to reveal a small part of the plot to make the audience think and apply the title to the action occurring. This is done by making the audience ask questions about what was lost or who we is, which is critical in embedding these initial enigma codes. This is seen in films such as And Then There Were None, None of What, Murder on the Orient Express, Who Was Murdered, Who's the Murderer, and Gone Girl, Gone Where, Which Girl, which all share common conventions of making the audience ask questions even before they've seen the action. This is different to other films in the genre, which use the name of a character to relate what is occurring within the action or to signify their importance. In films such as Zodiac, the use of the main character as the title, the Zodiac Killer, installs and embeds the importance and relevance to the audience. However useful this may be, I would rather draw attention to the lost part of my title, as I believe this is more relevant to the plot, which I believe is far more subjective than a name, therefore the audience will be more inquisitive as a result of this. The genre of my opening sequence is a crime drama. For this I decided to stay as conventional to my genre as possible. This is mainly because my questionnaire asked questions which resulted in my target audience opting for a more conventional sequence. I could see this as flashbacks, various props such as typewriters and murder were all chosen to make an appearance in my sequence, which I found were all conventional with the genre. Flashbacks make up a large component of my opening sequence and have made various appearances in crime dramas in order to provide context for an event that's happening within the action, or to provide exposition for characters. To show that a flashback was taking place, I used a black and white filter to convey a feeling of time passing backwards, which is shown in films such as Memento and Kill Bill, which signify time passed, and to provide exposition for the audience. The music which makes up my opening sequence is mainly orchestral, with some use of minimal sound effects. The reason for this was to have the audience fixated on the action and for the music to develop the emotive message it is accompanying. These were emotions of distress and anxiety which surrounded the character and created an emphasis on the surrounding atmosphere which gives the illusion of a secure surrounding but in actual fact later intensifies leading up to the downfall of the character. This convention is commonly found in crime genres such as Before I Go to Sleep, as they adhere to the theme of conveying distress through music without incorporating the sound in order for the audience to form a more abstract opinion of the character as opposed to it being influenced by any dialogue. Another way of being more conventional is by having the titles typed. This was done in order to relate to the typewriter at the start. This was done so to identify the significance of the typewriter and reaffirm the enigma codes around it. This is seen in films such as Memento, where the title's entrance and exit, through dust forming and then blowing away, connotes to memories that are not permanent and are constantly fading away. I use this tool in a similar way to consolidate on the enigma codes in What We Lost. The introduction of characters is done through the shots which attempt to reflect their personalities. For instance, with the character of Louise, the shots used mainly consist of close-ups and extreme close-ups, which relate to the confined and isolated location where the opening sequence is set. However, as is more revealed to the audience in terms of plot, the shots become wider and more inclusive to the action, in order to create a sense of narrative progression. In contrast to this, the main character of Frank is established using long shots and establishing shots. This immediately challenges Louise's character, as the shots used portray very different characters and shows the difference between Louise being an introvert and Frank being an extrovert and how they may come into conflict later within, which further creates more enigma codes, as the audience will question what their relevance is towards each other and what kind of conflict they will come into.